welcome back to my channel. Today's video is the long overdue review of the Tilly and the Buttons Make It Simple book. I purchased this book on pre-order when it came out a year and a half ago, maybe 2 years. Well, maybe not 2 years. Anyway, so I purchased this on pre-order, and spoiler alert, I love this book. This is the my first pattern book that I've ever purchased, and I love it. I actually want to now get the other two books that Tilly made. But after packing up all my stuff and seeing everything like in one spot, I think I'm gonna wait on that because I have a lot of fabric and other patterns that I need to sew through before I start purchasing more stuff. So anyways, so this is the book, and you get 6 patterns with this book. You get the Sophia Trousers, the Tabitha T-Shirt, which is what I'm wearing, the Suki dress, the Bertha cardigan, the Juno pajamas, and the olive pinafore. And then each pattern comes with like a couple of variations. So I want to see you get like 2 or 3 variations per pattern. So if you do the math, which I'm not going to do because I'm not very good at it, you get like a pretty good amount of options to make up. So if you guys are interested in each pattern individually, I did do a series where I sewed up every pattern and then did a review for each garment, and I made a playlist for that, so I'll link that in the description box below. So I'm gonna go ahead and answer the list of questions that you guys had for me, and then after that I'll do a little more review of the book. So the first one was, if you had to choose one pattern from the book that is a must-make or your favorite, which would it be? And yes, Peanut. Sorry, I have Peanut right here, you guys. So that would be the Tabitha T-Shirt, which is what I'm wearing. I really like this shirt. I actually went a little crazy while we were living with Tanisha. We were kind of in that like limbo stage of moving. You know, all my stuff was packed up. But yeah, I went a little crazy and bought like tons of knit fabric to make the Tabitha in. So yeah, I'm gonna try to sew up that fabric within like the next month or two. I was thinking of doing like a reel on Instagram showing, you know, all the Tabithas that I've made. They're all gonna be like this version, the short sleeve, but like different fabrics. So let me know if you guys would like to see that if you are following me on Instagram, because I've only ever made one reel before, so I'm still trying to figure it out. But if you guys think that would be interesting, let me know. Okay, the second one that I really love is the Sophia Trousers. I made that in the dungaree version in a like hot pink linen, and I love it. It's so much fun to wear. I do want to make another one of those, but I kind of want to switch it up a little bit. And what I mean by that is, so for the Sophia, when you make the dungarees, because there are no closures, which Tilly says that you can like put, you know, like a zip in or some sort of closure, but she doesn't give you instructions. So if if you know how to like alter the pattern for like a zip, then that could be easy. But for me, like, I'm still kind of learning, so I just went ahead and just sewed it without the closure. But anyways, you have to fit it to where your hips can fit through it. So I am one size smaller on the top than the bottom. So the front is just kind of like a little bit baggy on me, which, you know, isn't really like a problem. But I'm thinking about maybe hacking it to put a sheared panel in the back. That way I can make the bigger size on the top to fit my hips, so like it'll stretch out to go over my hips and then kind of shrink back when I'm like, you know, around my top while I'm wearing it. So I'm gonna try that. I do have some pink and white gingham fabric that I purchased from Joann a few years ago that I think may be good for that. Okay, the next question was if the instructions are easy to understand, and they are. Tilly writes really good instructions, and then each instruction comes with like a picture. So the instructions are really well written, and then she also has, you'll see like little boxes like this throughout the book, and they'll have like, how do I explain this? So she made little videos and put them on her blog for certain things that were kind of hard to translate, to teach through like just text and pictures. And I used 2 of those videos. One was for how to make like those chain loops for the belt loops on the Sophia dungarees, and the second one was how to insert the facing on the olive pinafore. And if she didn't make those videos, I would have never figured out how to do that just through text and pictures. So that's what I really like, is that she what's the word? Thought about like, hey, would someone have trouble understanding this just through pictures? Is this step a little more difficult to explain? Would a video be easier, you know, for someone to see how this is done? So I like that she thought about that and made those videos for that, because like I said, I never would have figured those 2 things out if there wasn't a video. Okay, and she'll put like the link to the video in those like little boxes so you guys can find them easily. The next question was, overall, how many of the patterns will you make again? I think I'm probably going to make all of them again, except for the Bertha cardigan, and that is just preference. So when I made the Bertha cardigan, one, I think the fabric that I used for it was not the correct fabric because it wasn't like drapey. I think that fabric probably would have been better for like a sweatshirt. So there was like bunching and stuff, you know, like on the arms that I didn't like. And I was gonna remake it in like a drapier fabric, but looking at the pattern, I really don't like those batwing style kind of like tops. So I think I'm just not gonna remake that one just because I just don't enjoy wearing that style, and I don't see the point in purchasing more fabric and then spending time making it to just kind of cement that I already don't like that style. But I think if you watch that video, I really do believe that the bunching and the problem that I had with the arms was my poor choice of fabric and not really understanding how that fabric and that garment would be. So I don't think that has anything to do with the pattern. That is 100% my fault for choosing the wrong fabric for that. And then the last question I was asked was, do you recommend buying the book? And yes, I do. I think this is a great book, and one of the main reasons why I recommend buying this book is that you get 6 patterns in this book, and this book, I just checked online, is 25 pounds for the whole book. And Tilly's patterns kind of range from like 7 pounds up to like 15, I think, with the average being around like 11.50. So if you think about it, you're getting 6 patterns plus all the variations. So I mean, the value for the, I guess the value for the money is really good because you're getting like a handful of patterns for less than if you would have purchased them individually through her site. The other thing that I really like about this book is you do have the option to, you get the paper patterns that you can trace, which I'm not the biggest fan of, which I think is what's kept me from buying other pattern books, is I'm just kind of, I don't know, I'm not a big fan of tracing patterns. But so you can actually put your ISBN number that you get on the book into the site, and then you can download all of the patterns and then print them off. You get like a copy shop version or like a print at home. So I mean, that just, you save so much time by not having to trace all of that. Okay. Hey guys, sorry about that. My camera overheated and turned off. So I think what I was saying was that where I left off, you don't have to trace your patterns. You can download them off the site, and that saves you so much time. So also another reason why I recommend this book is I think it's pretty good for people who are like, you know, just kind of, they've sewn a couple of garments and now they want to do, kind of expand their skill set. So these garments aren't like overly difficult to make, and I think a beginner who's sewn a few things would have no issue sewing these garments. There is one thing that I don't like, though, is the fact that some of these things, these variations, you have to draft yourself. So what I mean by that is the Juno pajamas only come with the leggings, but if you wanted to make shorts, you have to kind of draft that portion. So what I mean by that is usually when you purchase like a pajama pant pattern or a pants pattern, and there's the option for shorts, you'll see like two cut lines. You'll see like cut here for shorts and like cut here for pants. That is not the case with the Juno pajamas. And the reason why that bothered me is because I am not the best at, you know, altering patterns. And so she does give instructions, which were easy to follow, but I don't have the know-how or the skill set to kind of fix that. So my inseams ended up being kind of different from each other, and while like it looked okay, it just wasn't perfect. And if they just would have took the time to, you know, make that extra line on where to cut it, and then like how to change, or like where the crotch shape thing would be on that, it just would have been a lot easier. And the second one too, with like drafting, is I really wanted to make the drawstring dress version of the Tabitha. But when I was gonna use this fabric and I didn't have enough, so already I couldn't. But then I like looked at the instructions, and it was really confusing because you have to draft your own skirt pattern. But what I didn't understand was why this is place on the fold. Yeah, place on the fold, but it's not like totally up and down like this. See how this is like straight and this kind of goes in? So it's like, why would you place this on a fold if you would have to sew that up? But over here on the lay plans, it has you putting the straight part on the fold and then that part where it goes in, not on the fold. So there's like some discrepancies. It's kind of confusing. I honestly think that you place this on the fold. I don't think you place that. Well, hopefully that's not too dark and you guys can see that. So I didn't like that. I kind of wish like, if this is kind of the variation that you're giving me and it's not something like, easy to change like some of the other variations, we should have got a pattern piece for that, or at least been able to have the option to purchase it as like a add-on, kind of like how, you know, like the Indigo, she released different like sleeve options as like an add-on that you could purchase. But then again, I feel like if you're putting that in the book, it should come with the book. Does that make sense? Because this isn't like an easy thing to change. And the Sophia Trousers could also become a dungaree, and she gave you the bodice. It wasn't like you had to draft the bodice yourself. So I'm a little confused on why the skirt option wasn't a pattern and why you would have to draft that yourself. And then why what it says over here is different than what it says over here. So that is one thing that I don't like. With that being said, I do want to make this in the future. I don't think it's going to prevent me from making it, but that probably won't be like in the near future, because like I said, I don't have the skills for that yet. So that may be something that I need to practice and do some more research and learn more about before actually attempting it. What else? Yeah, I just love this book, you guys. And I think if you purchase this book, I don't think you'll be disappointed, because like I said, you get 6 patterns, and then each pattern comes with a variation. And if you do the math, you're getting a lot more for your money than if you would have purchased 6 individual patterns off of Tilly's site. And I like that you have the option to trace the patterns if you want to trace the patterns, and if you don't want to bother, then you can download them off the site and have them printed. I think all the patterns are really fun. They're like a good mix of like basics, and then some just kind of like fun modern clothing that, you know, people want to wear. And everything fits really well. I didn't really have an issue with fitting besides the dungarees, but I think I figured out a way to make that work a little bit better to fit my bodice. And yeah, I think that's it. I hope that this review was helpful for you guys. If you have any more questions, please don't hesitate to leave them in the comments below, and I will do my best to answer them to the best of my abilities. But honestly, I think if you're on the fence about whether or not purchasing this book, I say go ahead and purchase it, because like I said, this book is just, it's great, and it's making me want to purchase her other 2 books in the future, and maybe more pattern books. I'm not sure, we'll see. So yeah, all right, I'm gonna leave it there. So if you like this video, please give this video a thumbs up, that helps. And then follow me on Instagram if you're not. My Instagram handle is megan.handmade. I will go ahead and hopefully make a corresponding blog post on this review. So sorry, I can't speak. If I have anything extra to add, I guess, for a blog post, I'll go ahead and link that in the description box below. And I'll be seeing you guys in my next video. Bye.